All right, Aquarius, let's get into your reading. There is something pressing against every wall of this reading, and it will not stay quiet. I felt it the second these cards hit the table, and each one confirms something massive. This person holds a heaviness in their chest, and that heaviness has your name etched deep inside. They gripped something for weeks inside themselves, and the cards say that grip is finally loosening. Whatever you sensed shifting in your spirit lately, trust that instinct because the cards back it completely. You finding this reading right now is not random. Your intuition pulled you here for a specific reason. All right, the energy coming through today is this, and I need you to absorb every word carefully. This person you love with everything inside of you. They are preparing something enormous for your life. It is not a fleeting mood or a whim. It is an offering built with patience and devotion. The weight of what they want to hand you, it mirrors every silent emotion they carried alone. Come in close for this part, because the cards are showing me exactly where this energy originates. The connection between you and this person runs incredibly deep, far beyond what either of you grasps yet. Their hands have been shaking with the size of it, and that trembling tells me everything about intention. The first card I have today is the Ace of Cups, and this one arrived with staggering force. The Ace of Cups represents a pure emotional offering, something brand new that has never been extended before. What they want to place before you, it pours from the most guarded part of their heart. No hidden motive lives inside this energy, and no agenda hides beneath any part of this gesture. This card does not land in a spread like this unless the emotional truth behind it is authentic. They held this offering back for a long time, and the Ace of Cups says restraint is ending. The overflow inside them finally broke the seal, and now it spills toward you without any filter. I need you to grasp the gravity of that, because the Ace of Cups does not exaggerate anything. The next card coming through is the Emperor, and this shifts everything into a serious, grounded space. The Emperor confirms this person stopped second guessing. They locked into a firm decision and they mean it. What they plan to bring forward has real structure. It carries long-term intention in every detail. This is not reckless energy or impulsive desire. This is devoted certainty that knows where it belongs. The Emperor says they assembled this moment in silence, piece by piece, until it felt completely unshakable. You can feel the seriousness in this card. It does not appear unless commitment is already sealed. Then we have the Ten of Pentacles, and beside the Emperor, this card raises every single stake. The Ten of Pentacles holds abundance that stretches beyond one lifetime, the kind that reshapes your foundation. This confirms the offering is not temporary or small. It was designed to alter your entire world permanently. They want to construct something lasting beside you, something that holds meaning long after the first moment settles. The Ten of Pentacles does not appear in casual readings. It arrives when the offering carries generational weight. What they built in secret mirrors what you prayed for quietly, and the cards recognize both sides. Following that is the Knight of Wands, and this card confirms movement toward you is almost here. The Knight of Wands brings fearless momentum, the kind of charge that refuses to hesitate once conviction lands. This person gathers the last thread of courage now, and the cards confirm they will follow through completely. Every fiber of their resolve points directly at you, and the Knight confirms the approach already started. The speed of this card tells me the stalling has ended. The decision already left their chest. This energy will not hover in the atmosphere forever. There is a window, and it narrows each day. You did not land on this reading by coincidence. Your spirit brought you here because something shifted. Their gesture may arrive in ways you least expect, but when it reaches you, everything settles into place. Each card across this table carries one undeniable signal. This person means what they are about to give. The offering is real, and the timing is near. Every card confirms you were meant to receive it. I need to turn the energy toward you now, because these cards demand to address your heart directly. What you carried inside yourself through all of this, it is heavier than anyone near you understands. This part answers one burning question. What has been happening inside of you through this entire journey? The doubt resting in your chest is not weakness. It is scar tissue from loving without any guarantees. You replayed conversations in your head 1,000 times, searching for clues you might have overlooked before. Part of you already senses the truth, but the other half is terrified to fully believe it yet. The walls you raised did not come from nowhere. They came from real wounds that never fully healed. The first card on your side is the Moon, and this card reads through every mask you built. The Moon says you walked through a fog for months, moving forward without seeing the destination at all. Your emotions shift without warning on certain nights, and you question everything you thought you understood about this. One moment you feel anchored in this connection, and the next moment uncertainty floods your entire chest again. The Moon confirms you stayed in that gray area deliberately, never fully surrendering to hope or grief. That fog is not your failure or your flaw. It is survival instinct shielding you from another wound. You constructed those walls with earned reason, and the cards honor every single brick you stacked around yourself. No one taught you how to navigate this ache, so you built the map entirely on your own. The next card is the Seven of Cups, and this reveals the storm living behind your calm face. The Seven of Cups says your mind races through possibilities daily, each one dragging you somewhere different entirely. You picture the best outcome vividly, and then you punish yourself for daring to want it that much. Certain memories make you smile without permission, and then guilt crashes in right behind that warmth immediately. You question whether you read too deeply into small signals, or whether your gut held truth all along. The Seven of Cups confirms your thoughts refuse to quiet, especially during those late, restless hours alone. Your brain builds scenarios until exhaustion shuts it off, and even then, the dreams pick up the work. You kept asking the same silent question over and over, and the Seven of Cups heard every word. Something inside you craves a definitive answer, but the universe kept handing you fragments instead of clarity. Then we see the Queen of Swords, and this card mirrors the version of you everyone else encounters. The Queen of Swords shows you wore composure like armor, locking your real feelings beneath a controlled surface. People assume you handled it well because you mastered the art of functioning while your heart aches quietly. You talk about this situation with a steady voice, but underneath that steadiness, a storm builds without relief. The Queen of Swords confirms you stopped asking for answers and turned fiercely inward on your own terms. You dropped the habit of seeking reassurance from others, and you sat alone with your own knowing instead. That independence is remarkable to witness in the cards, but exhaustion hides directly beneath all of that strength. That armor served its purpose for a long season, and the cards see how deeply it cost you. Your final card is the Star, and this one landed with a tenderness that took me by surprise. The Star says, beneath every wall and every doubt, a stubborn and quiet hope still breathes inside you. You have not surrendered this feeling, and finding this reading proves that faith still pulses through your body. The Star does not appear for those who quit. It only surfaces when devotion runs beneath everything. The Star confirms a quiet voice inside kept whispering that this connection deserves every ounce of your patience. Even when logic fought against that whisper, your heart refused to drop the thread tying you to them. You are not delusional for trusting that pull, and I need you to absorb that truth completely. The weariness you carry is not punishment for loving wrong. It is the cost of loving with everything. Each card on your side echoes one certainty. Your intuition guided you correctly through every uncertain moment. Whatever answer your heart offered during the quietest hours, the cards confirm that answer was never wrong. Something shifted in the cards just now, and I can feel this person stepping into the reading fully. Their presence landed heavy across this table, and every card after carried their emotional fingerprint on it. This section reveals what lives inside of them, the fears and feelings they never spoke out loud. What I share next might shake something loose because their inner world overflows with unspoken weight entirely. They are not the same person they were months ago, and the cards make that transformation completely unmistakable. Something cracked open inside them recently, and they sat with the wreckage, trying to understand all of it. The version you remember is not who exists today, and that gap between the two stuns me. The first card on their side is the Hermit, and this tells me exactly where they have been. The Hermit says they withdrew from the noise deliberately because they needed silence to face their truth. They sat alone with your memory more times than you know, replaying moments that marked them permanently. The Hermit confirms they chose isolation not from cruelty, but because the weight of feeling overwhelmed them. They could not process what you stirred around other people, so they vanished into their own world. That withdrawal confused you, and the cards understand exactly why. But the Hermit says it was never rejection. It was a person drowning in emotion, unable to figure out how to reach you with honesty. Their silence was never the absence of caring. It was someone loving far beyond their own capacity. The distance they created was a shelter built from panic, not a wall built from indifference toward you. The next card is the Nine of Swords, and this exposed the darkest corner of their private suffering. The Nine of Swords says they lost sleep over you, and their restless nights mirror yours almost perfectly. Guilt circles their mind at 3 a.m, and they replay every mistake they believe they made. They punish themselves in silence for hesitating, for not saying what rested on the tip of their tongue. The Nine of Swords confirms they carry regret pressed against their chest, and it sits there every night. Their fear of losing you cuts deep, far deeper than anything they have allowed you to witness. They rehearsed words in the dark that never reached your ears, and those sentences haunt them constantly. The anxiety behind their composure would stun you, because they masked every fracture with practiced stillness and control. Every wound they hid from you still throbs beneath the surface, and the Nine of Swords confirms it. Following that is the Page of Cups, and this card revealed a tenderness that caught me off guard. The Page of Cups says a childlike vulnerability hides inside them, buried beneath every wall they carefully built. They feel things about you with an innocence that terrifies them, because that openness feels deeply dangerous. This card confirms they drafted messages to you that were never sent, words so raw it scared them. The Page of Cups holds their desire to give you everything, stripped of conditions or protective barriers entirely. That tender part never vanished. It just learned to whisper because the volume of rejection felt devastating. They are not cold or indifferent toward you, and the cards need you to release that belief permanently. The softness they buried still reaches for you in quiet moments, and the Page of Cups confirms it. The final card on their side is the Lovers, and my breath caught when this one appeared here. The Lovers confirms they view your connection as sacred territory, not casual or replaceable in any form. They weighed this bond against every fear they carry, and your connection won every time without exception. The Lover says they already know you belong together. The hesitation was never rooted in doubt toward you. Their fear always pointed inward, centered on whether they deserved what you offered them so openly. They shifted in ways you have not witnessed yet, and the Lovers confirms you caused that entire change. What they feel for you mirrors what you feel for them, and the cards confirm it without question. You are not imagining what lives here, and I need that truth to settle deep inside you. The road they walked alone brought them closer, even when the distance seemed to tell another story. The pace of this reading just surged forward, and I can feel raw momentum building between every card. Whatever was stalling in this connection, the cards say, the brakes have been fully released on their end. This part covers action only, what they are about to do, and the steps already set in motion. No more sitting in confusion or analyzing wounds, because the energy here moves forward and it moves fast. They hit a tipping point inside themselves, and the decision that followed landed like concrete on the ground. The hesitation you watched for so long, it collapsed under the weight of what they could not contain. Something in them snapped into focus recently, and the fog they operated under dissolved without any warning. The clarity that replaced it is sharp and unwavering, and it pointed them directly at you without detour. The first card here is the Eight of Wands, and this card carries urgency from every single angle. The Eight of Wands says communication flies toward you soon, rapid and direct with zero hesitation behind it. They finished rehearsing words inside their head, and the next message they deliver will reach you personally. This card confirms words already took shape, and the timeline for delivery shrinks with each passing day. The Eight of Wands does not drift into a reading gently, it crashes through when action becomes unavoidable. Whatever contact arrives from them next, it will carry a gravity you have not heard from them before. The tone shifts because they shifted, and the Eight of Wands confirms that internal change is now permanent. They stopped circling the edges of your life, and the Eight of Wands says they walk straight through. You may already sense something approaching quietly, a subtle disturbance in the atmosphere that has not fully surfaced. That instinct is not paranoia. It is your spirit detecting movement before your eyes catch up to it. The countdown toward their action already began, and the cards say the remaining distance shrinks rapidly from here. They are closer to reaching you than you believe, and the gap narrows with every decision they finalize. The next card is the Chariot, and this locked the entire trajectory of their decision firmly into place. The Chariot says they stopped asking permission from their fears and chose to drive straight toward you instead. This is not a tentative step or half measure. This is committed motion with you as the destination. The Chariot confirms they mapped what needs to happen, and every obstacle they once imagined lost its authority. They move with resolve that does not pause for second thoughts or outside opinions from anyone any longer. Their approach will not arrive chaotic or desperate. It lands structured and deliberate because they planned every detail. The precision behind their next move will surprise you because it reflects someone who thought about every angle. You will feel their shifted energy before they even speak, because the Chariot carries that kind of gravity. Both halves of this connection align at the same moment, and that convergence is neither accidental nor forced. The universe timed this meeting of readiness precisely, and the Chariot confirms neither of you arrived here mistakenly. The final card is the Three of Pentacles, and this moves the energy from pursuit into partnership territory. The Three of Pentacles says their action involves constructing something together, not just reaching out for reconnection. They do not return to revisit old patterns. They arrive carrying a blueprint for something built entirely new. The old version of this connection holds no interest for them because what they envision now surpasses it. This card confirms their move includes a tangible gesture, something you can see and measure with real weight. The Three of Pentacles does not surface for hollow promises. It appears when groundwork has already been laid. Whatever they present will have structure supporting it, because they spent their silence building the foundation carefully. The offering they carry matches what the earlier cards revealed, and nothing about it feels rushed or hollow. You will sense the shift before their words arrive, because your body recognizes what approaches from afar. The signs stack fast from this point forward, and each one confirms the action these cards revealed today. Their movement is no longer about whether, it became about when, and the answer draws closer each day. The cards dropped into a layer that was never meant to be spoken, and the air thickened instantly. This is what they would never say to your face, the confessions buried so deep they barely breathe. What hides beneath everything they showed the world is raw, unfiltered, and heavier than anything before this. The hidden truth here carries a pulse of its own, and I felt it vibrate through every card. The weight of what they conceal would bring most people to their knees, and the cards felt it. If your chest tightens while hearing this, that is not anxiety. That is your body confirming truth. If your hands tremble or your stomach drops, honor that response, because it is recognition, not imagination. The first card in this hidden layer is the High Priestess, and she arrived holding devastating secrets. The High Priestess says they guard a confession so tender, speaking it aloud would shatter their composure. They know exactly how they feel about you, and the depth of that knowing terrifies them completely. This card confirms they made private vows about you in silence, promises no other person ever heard. The High Priestess holds the version of them that prays you stay, the version nobody else witnesses. They speak to you inside their mind during ordinary moments, imagining conversations that never break the surface. In the shower or driving alone at night, your name fills every silence, and they let it remain. The High Priestess confirms they memorized details about you, small habits and expressions nobody else ever noticed. They cataloged those fragments without realizing it, and now those pieces form the clearest portrait of devotion. That attention was never casual observation. It was devotion disguised as stillness and hidden behind their composure. They stored you inside their body like a second heartbeat, and the High Priestess says it never stopped. The next card is the Six of Cups, and this unlocked a confession rooted in your shared history. The Six of Cups says they revisit specific memories of you, replaying them like sacred recordings nightly. One particular moment between you branded itself into them, and they return to it without fail, constantly. In silent confession, they admit, no one since you has stirred that particular kind of alive inside them. The Six of Cups confirms they measured every connection after you against what existed between you two. Every comparison fell short, and every attempt to replicate that feeling failed because you set an impossible standard. They want to confess you ruined them for anyone else, but admitting that out loud paralyzes them. The ache of that confession presses against their ribs, and the Six of Cups holds every bruise. The innocence they brought to your connection still lives untouched inside them, protected from every wound carefully. That is the part the protector voice guards most fiercely, and I honor that instinct with full respect. Their protector built walls from devotion, not cruelty, shielding the most sacred feeling they ever carried inside. The final card is the King of Cups, and this revealed the deepest confession beneath all the others. The King of Cups says they designed a future with you, in vivid detail inside their own mind. They assembled a life beside you silently, complete with routines and mornings and quiet, ordinary togetherness. That vision is the confession they refuse to volunteer, because wanting something that fiercely feels like a weapon. The King of Cups confirms they want to be chosen by you, not from need, but from certainty. They crave hearing you say their name with permanence behind it, the tone that closes every open question. Their deepest hidden desire holds no drama or spectacle. It is waking beside you without fear of ending. They want the quiet version of love, the kind that asks for nothing except your presence each morning. The simplicity of that want is what makes it devastating, because it strips away every defense they built. Give yourself full permission to feel whatever stirred inside you, because your body spoke an honest truth here. You are not fabricating the bond that lives between you, and every confession the cards pulled confirms that. The part of you that always knew, that quiet, stubborn knowing, the cards say it was right entirely. Every hidden word exposed tonight confirms one truth. This person belongs to you at the deepest level. We reached the final stretch of this reading, and the cards carry a gravity that demands full attention. Everything built across every part funnels into this closing, and the near future holds something extraordinary for you. The first near future card is the Sun, and it landed with warmth that flooded the entire spread. The sun says clarity replaces every shadow that lingered between you, and the fog finally lifts for good. Within the coming weeks, a moment of recognition arrives, where both of you see the truth without barriers. The sun confirms joy returns to this connection in a form you forgot existed, pure and uncomplicated, finally. Picture yourself past the other side of this waiting, breathing easier with certainty you have not felt. That version of you lives in the near future, and the sun confirms the distance shrinks each day. The second near future card is the Two of Cups, and this confirms an emotional exchange approaches soon. The Two of Cups says you meet in a space of mutual vulnerability, with every wall completely lowered. This is not one-sided. It is a shared moment where both hearts arrive fully open simultaneously. The Two of Cups confirms words get exchanged that permanently shift the foundation between you and this person. What you felt privately and what they concealed secretly all surfaces together in one honest, grounding conversation. That exchange rewrites the trajectory of this connection, and neither of you walks away unchanged from its weight. The relief that follows feels like exhaling for the first time in months, and the cards guarantee it. The advice card is Temperance, and this carries a vital message you need to hear before that moment. Temperance says, do not rush the unfolding, because the timing the universe arranged deserves your patience and trust. The urge to force contact before they finish preparing will only disrupt what already moves toward you naturally. Temperance confirms your role is to hold your center. Breathe through the anticipation without gripping it too tightly. Stay grounded in what the cards gave you today, and let that knowing carry you through the weight. Trust that the energy confirmed across every card needs no intervention from you. It only asks for faith. The best thing you can do between now and that moment is stay open and honor the stillness. The message that opened this reading said someone you love prepares something enormous to offer you very soon. Each card across all 6 parts confirmed that message, and not a single one contradicted it anywhere. The Ace of Cups opened with pure emotional truth, and the Emperor grounded that offering in firm commitment. The Ten of Pentacles confirmed generational significance, and the Knight of Wands brought urgent momentum behind the offering. The Moon honored your confusion. The Seven of Cups held space for every sleepless night you endured quietly. The Queen of Swords recognized your armor, and the Star confirmed hope still pulses beneath all of it. The Hermit explained their withdrawal. The Nine of Swords revealed the guilt they carried through every restless night. The Page of Cups exposed their tenderness, and the Lovers confirmed your bond holds sacred, irreplaceable weight. The Eight of Wands launched their action forward, and the Chariot locked their decision into an unstoppable trajectory. The Three of Pentacles confirmed they arrived to build, and the High Priestess unveiled confessions they guarded secretly. The Six of Cups proved your history lives inside them, and the King of Cups showed their vision. The Sun promises clarity ahead. The Two of Cups confirms mutual exchange, And Temperance asks for patient faith. Not a single card wavered from the original message, and that extraordinary consistency across this spread is undeniable. This is real, and everything laid across this table tonight carries weight the universe intended specifically for you. Imagine yourself weeks from now, settled in the peace that follows, knowing your patience was never once wasted. That future version of you looks back at this reading and smiles because each word turned out true. When the signs begin appearing, and they will, come back to this reading and leave a word below. Thank you for sitting with me through each card today and for trusting this message with your heart. Everything built across every part funnels into this closing, and the near future holds something extraordinary for you. The first near future card is the Sun, and it landed with warmth that flooded the entire spread. The Sun says clarity replaces every shadow that lingered between you, and the fog finally lifts for good. Within the coming weeks, a moment of recognition arrives, where both of you see the truth without barriers. The Sun confirms joy returns to this connection in a form you forgot existed, pure and uncomplicated, finally. Picture yourself past the other side of this waiting, breathing easier with certainty you have not felt. That version of you lives in the near future, and the Sun confirms the distance shrinks each day. The second near future card is the Two of Cups, and this confirms an emotional exchange approaches soon. The Two of Cups says you meet in a space of mutual vulnerability, with every wall completely lowered. This is not one-sided. It is a shared moment where both hearts arrive fully